Here's my theory of Christmas Vacation. It's a time when I'm already putting together my top books video, and I don't want to accidentally read something that will invalidate the whole thing. So I stick with fluff. Plus, it's a vacation, and on vacation, I like to veg out with mindless fun, and I found a lot of it this year. So let's take a look. Okay, let's talk about Betting the Billionaire by Kendra Little, contemporary romance, which I read as an addition to my horrible titles I've actually read project. And this book lived up to its travesty of a name with truly horrifying content. Words kinda fail me, really messed up. But I got to collect a gem of a horrible name, so all worth it, right? I think. You Were Mine by Abby Glines, the 9th book in the new adult Rosemary Beach series. Abby Glines writes melodramatic soap opera-y stuff, and I'd call it my guilty pleasure if I believed in that phrase, but I refuse to be ashamed of what I read, so I'm gonna wholeheartedly say I love this schlock. Some of her books tip over into too much, and while this one definitely was on that line for quite a bit of it, I still ended up enjoying it. This one is the story of Trip and Bethy who have a history from their teenage years. Not where I'd start with the series if I were you, but not a bad addition. On the Island by Tracy Garvis-Graves. This is contemporary romance. I didn't know where this one was going for the longest time. A 16-year-old boy gets shipwrecked on an island with his 30-year-old teacher, and they don't get rescued for a very long time. The premise sounds, but actually this was pretty adorable. It's a recommended read from me. I really liked it, and it was definitely unique. HOTSHOT by Julie Garwood, the 11th book in the romantic suspense Buchanan Reynard series. This is one of the first romantic suspense series I ever started, and I now have one more book in this series to read before I'm fully caught up. I liked this addition to the series. It's about Peyton and Finn. Finn's part of the FBI, and someone is trying to kill Peyton. It's the usual formula for the series, and the plot is not the strongest, but Julie Garwood is good at characters and the romance between them, so it was still a fun read. The Unidentified Redhead by Alice Clayton, contemporary romance. I tend not to like books set in Hollywood. They always come off as very touristy. Look at how glamorous it all is, and I guess living and working here, I don't really see it as all that glamorous. Though I did get a kick out of when they're taking a run through Griffith Park and then just pop down to Venice for lunch. That's like a 2-hour drive. Heck, I live near Griffith Park and I go to the beach maybe once a year because it's just so freaking far away. Anyway, occasionally a Hollywood book will transcend my innate prejudices to them, but this one was not one of those books. It was rah. Castle Hill by Samantha Young, the novella between the second and third books of the On Dublin Street series. This is one of my favorite new adult series, but I really disliked this novella. The first half had no real conflict or story, and then the second half really annoyed me. Not so much because he was a dickhead, but I was so pissed at all their friends by the end of it, seriously. But then I picked up book 3 in the series before Jamaica Lane, and I like this one a lot better. It's about Olivia and Nate, who we've met in past books as good pals. There was a few spots in here that were a bit weak, but overall an enjoyable read. Rowdy, book 5 in the new adult Marked Men series by Jay Crownover. I'm hit or miss on the series. Loved Rome, but didn't like Nash, for example. This one is about Rowdy and his old next-door neighbor moves to town looking for him. I liked it. The two main characters were very likable. Still not sold on her motivation for suddenly deciding to move cities for him. Not sure it was highly plausible, but otherwise this book was a-okay. A Royal Mess, Her Night to Remember by Jill Shalvis. This is contemporary romance. I am a huge Jill Shalvis fan, but I'm running out of her books to read, so I'm reaching way back into her Harlequin romance days to get my fix. But she was pretty bad in her Harlequin romance days. She's improved 1,000-fold, but man, these are painful, really painful. Really painful. Okay, so that's it. Read any good mindless fluff lately that I can add to my list?